Smoke is a global artist community and platform that creates space for artists to meditate on the important themes of our time. It's a social practice that basically allows us to explore the idea that if we focus our creative attention in really intentional ways, that we can shift consciousness.
Right now we're in the sweet season, and this season was really interesting because this season launched in the beginning of all the protests and everything that's happening. Season Sweet is about sweetening our relationship to difficult topics, conversations. And we were like, wow, this is perfectly aligned with what's happening right now because there's all these conversations happening in the United States. We're in an election year, so everything that we put out has been challenging people's perspectives.
It's really easy to get scattered in the 21st century with TikTok and Instagram, and the way that we create now is just so fast paced, and we wanted to kind of slow things down and see what that could do, not only for our communities, but for the world and how we influence people.
Right now, we're in the Zeal Press studio, and I'm an artist in resident here. And Zeal is a Black artist cooperative that helps Black artists throughout the diaspora thrive. I think having that space, that intentional space to just work on my practice, even during COVID, has helped me upkeep my creativity. We have a podcast that we're doing called Bittersweet. We talk about these difficult topics based on what's happening in the time.
We felt like this moment was a real opportunity to be okay, we need to go deeper. We need to lean into the challenges, and this is a safe space where we can do that. And let's build that safe space and give people kind of the tools to have those conversations. What usually ends up happening is by the end of the season, we've adapted to whatever the needs of the community are and things have shifted a bit.
But one thing we do every season is we have featured artists that make work and submit work based on the theme.
We usually start off our season with just a meditation between the two of us.
Yeah.
We come up with a series of questions of things that we're thinking about, guiding questions
as they relate to the theme.
Yeah, that can kind of lead the whole season.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, we usually move into color principles and design principles based on the theme.
We always usually aim to have 5 to 9 colors every season that we keep using, so the identity stays the same.
And for example, since our whole thing is about sweetening our relationship to difficult subjects, but having sweetness in an authentic way versus sweetness as a cover-up to things that are really going on. So all of our colors are based on a fruit salad.
Yeah.
We didn't want to do candy and ice cream because that's fake sweetness. We wanted that real stuff,
That nutritional value.
So we're very intentional about all of the design choices we make.
Some seasons are harder than others.
That's a fact.
Just based on how we curate them, the topics, etc. Ancestral, for example, was our first season. It was really heavy, and it brought a lot of emotions. And in a way, it was really healing because we're dealing with people we cared about that are no longer here. As every season ends, I'm exhaling the theme. It's
okay, it's processing.
right?
It's processing.
Yeah, and it's intentionally processing it, so I don't feel like I suppressed anything.
When we create space in Honey and Smoke, it's with the same hope that people will come and find a sort of openness and spaciousness that allows them to explore ideas, mediums, relationships in a more kind of open way. It is just a breathing process, sometimes the breath might be uncomfortable because there's some blockages there. Or sometimes it might be more free-flowing because you're more familiar with that part of yourself. But, it's just living. You have to keep breathing through it and keep paying attention to whatever sensations you're feeling. So I just hope that Honey and Smoke can keep offering that kind of space.